A pediatric surgeon and an anesthetist are out on bail after appearing in court in connection with the death of 10-year-old Zayyaan Sayed. The child died in October after a surgery for acid reflux. The South African Medical Association has called for a speedy resolution and a fair trial. Joining us on Skype from Pretoria is SAMA Chair, that is Dr. Angelique Coetzee. Dr. Coetzee, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. You are calling for proper investigation into this particular case to bring forward all the relevant factors and the nuances that are relevant to, incidents that can occur during procedures such as this one. Is it your sense that there's a possibility that that may not happen?
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all the listeners out there. SAMA is very concerned about this. We acknowledge that this is a criminal case, and as such, we cannot have any saying in the proceedings of a criminal case. The law needs to take its course. We cannot stop that. But what is very much of a concern to us is the way that this is being handled out in the public. It is simply unheard of to make announcements of a public arrest of doctors. This is a very, very dangerous thing to do, because if you start publicly announcing that you are going to prosecute doctors criminally, you're going to end up with less doctors wanting to serve the public out there. This is also unheard of, to make these announcements before prosecution is taking place. Then it is as if the doctors, we are not saying that the doctors is wrong. We are saying that, the principle of this, to go out in the public, to already say these doctors are guilty, to find them guilty, they have not even been prosecuted properly. The case has not even started yet. It is very, very dangerous. It's a sad day.
Dr. Coetzee, who's been saying that they are guilty even before they've been found guilty, other than, of course, the feeling from the side of the affected families and perhaps what's written on the papers by the prosecuting authorities, which is standard. That's what they say, that they're setting out to prove that you are guilty of X, Y, and Z. Other than that, has anyone really gone out and said that they are guilty?
The way that, if you look at the media responses that's out there, it seems as if these people these two doctors are already being found guilty. This is not right. I'm not saying that doctors must get special treatment. That's not what we're saying. But this is the first case about 3 months ago was the case of the gynecologist that's been sentenced to serve prison time. That he was also criminally prosecuted. So this is a second incident where doctors are criminally being prosecuted. There must be other ways where one can prosecute doctors. The HPCSA, which is our governing body, is one of the bodies that could have been taken into account what is happening. A case could have been laid. Maybe the case was laid. I'm not sure about that.
You possibly, Dr. Coetzee, talking about the number of other people that came forward to share some of their experiences. This was on social media. What's wrong with that if other people have had, harrowing experiences at the hands of a medical professional? I just don't understand what it is that says that society has found them guilty when people who have experiences to share are the only ones coming forward and saying, this is my experience.
This is exactly what we try to say. I can say that was my experience, but is it truly was that what happened? You have to bring, if you think that you or your child had been treated wrongly, I would again say, lay a case at the HPCSA And let us start there. But why would you have waited all these years or time? I'm not sure how long ago all of this happened. And then all of a sudden now you come to the forefront. It is as if, we are a very interesting nation. The moment when something goes wrong or some people are being accused, then you will get other people jumping onto the wagon. And I'm not saying that this is not real cases, but we have also learned from very, 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 very hard experience in the past that people tend to say, listen, this is what happened to me. And when you go into the merits of the case, then it's shown that, unfortunately, that was not true, what happened. So, again, for us as doctors, there's different ways. We should do this differently.
Right.
Why making this a public case?
Right.
Why?
Doc,
That's my question.
A last question then from me has to do with, what the former health minister, Aaron Motsoaledi, described as an explosion of medical malpractice litigation claims in South Africa, medical malpractice, and also the annual statistics, certainly from the public sector, that you see where there's been all sorts of malpractice that has happened. The fact that the former minister could call this an explosion, and also you're now seeing a move towards trying to hold doctors criminally liable. What does that tell you? Is there something for doctors to introspect about, moving away from the merits of this particular case? Do we have a problem of medical malpractice and doctors not carrying themselves in the way that they should?
We have a system problem. I fully agree that doctors need to take responsibility for what they are doing. We need to be ethically. But this is a systems problem. This is not only, unfortunately, it's not only the doctors. It's part of a system. We have raised concerns before about this. With the current minister, about 4 months ago, we met with him and we said that we are worried about this. I also need to make you aware that the Road Accident Fund was always being used by attorneys to the correct word is to milk the system and get people to claim for road accident funds. So that is being shut down. The problem in the public sector is there's also a lot of cases against the public sector doctors, but it takes a long time. So now the third place is to go publicly, to go criminally. They can still also prosecute a doctor civilly, and starting with the private sector, because you've got a better chance to recover your monies from the private sector or to get justice done than in the public sector. So that is a huge problem.
Right, Dr.
And the previous minister didn't sign off on a document that was lying with him regarding this problem. So hopefully in the new year we will move forward.
All right, Dr. Angelique Coetzee, thank you so much. She is the chairperson of the South African Medical Association, talking to us this afternoon about that ongoing case. Now to this